Let's talk about why we wanted to have you on air this morning. A residential parking ban is going into effect today. City Crew's trying to get out there and clean up the mess that has been left from the snow dump that we got. And for those who leave their vehicles parked on a designated snow route, Janice, as you know, they can get a $200 ticket and find their vehicle is towed to another street. But you have some issues with that. Tell us about it.
Well, yes, we've had a tremendous amount of snow. And what the city has done, it's just been basically a policy. I asked the department how long has this policy been in place, and they went way back, 1977 and even further. What happens is the city does what's called a courtesy tow. So basically, we hire a towing company. If someone doesn't move their vehicle when the time is on that they're supposed to move it. If they don't move it, the city does a courtesy tow and moves it to the next street. Well, that's lovely. That's wonderful. We can get our streets plowed, which is the whole purpose of this, is getting our residential streets plowed. But the courtesy tow costs taxpayers. We pay the tow truck to move someone's vehicle who's chosen not to move it. Now, in 2021, that's not including this snowfall. Already, we've almost spent $1 million on courtesy tows. So by the time this snowplow is done with this residential parking ban and snow removal, we're going to be over $1 million on courtesy tows. And I think it's time that we ended the courtesy tow and we started charging the people that don't move their vehicles. Now, we've come a long way since the Know Your Zone program came out 10 years ago. 10 years ago is when the Know Your Zone program came out. We've developed bilingual apps. We've got a citizen information service online tool that you can go onto the website and find out when you're going to get plowed, when your street's going to get plowed. We've got an online portal that the city has saying when it's going to be plowed. You can call 311 or email. We've got all kinds of social media campaigns. So it's not like we don't have enough information out there that people can access. I think now, after 10 years, we've really got a lot of information out there, and I think it's time to end the courtesy tow and start charging people for towing their vehicles if they don't move them.
Well, and never mind the fact, it's not fair to those who take the time to do the right thing, right?
Well, and in this last, residential parking ban, when we did the residential streets, I got a lot of calls from residents who were very upset that they moved their vehicle, and yet they saw many other vehicles out there that didn't move it, and the snowplow went around it. And the thing that really concerns me about all of this is, as we grow up as a city and as we build denser neighborhoods and smaller, tighter areas, we need our streets open in a timely manner so emergency vehicles can travel on them, so buses can travel on them. And if people aren't moving their vehicles, the snow piles up and builds up around their vehicle, and other people do the right thing, yet people that don't do the right thing get the courtesy tow. And I just really think it's time that we look at eliminating that and start charging the people.
Well, and it could be the impetus to get those vehicles off the street, right? Nothing like a ticket with a little bit of money attached for them to move, right?
Well, that can be a catalyst, right? That tickets or fines or fees or levies or whatever you want to call them can be a catalyst to getting people to move their vehicle. And it's only for a 12-hour period. Borrow a neighbor's driveway if you only park your vehicle on the street. The streets are for public use. They're not parking lots. So I feel strongly about this. And I brought a motion forward. It's going to come forward to the Assiniboine Community Committee on January 7th. We're going to talk about it, and hopefully it'll go up the through the system. And right now, when a vehicle is towed that does have a courtesy tow, we have a tracking system, so the person can call 311 and find out what street it was towed to. So there's systems in place that this can be done. And the other aspect to it is, right now, if you look at, costing over $1 million a year for these courtesy tows, my recommendation or in the motion is to see how many we're doing and take that money that we're saving that we're not paying and keep it in the snow budget and use it to enhance and improve the snow and ice removal on active transportation routes. So,
well, and I don't think many people would complain about that. Absolutely.
no.
Janice, in speaking to other councillors, do you have the support for this going forward?
Yeah, I seem to have some really keen people that, I think it's something that's kind of flown under the radar that people didn't really realize. I mean, we thought, we knew we did a courtesy tow, but people didn't really realize the costs that are associated with these courtesy tows. So I had the department go back for 4 years. Of course, it depends on how many residential plows we have a year and how many vehicles choose not to move. So it is a number that varies. But in this last residential plow that we had just not even a month ago, it was $930,000 in towing that the city pays for people that don't move their vehicles. So I've got a lot of councillors that are supportive of this. And I think especially in light of all the information that we put out now when a residential plow parking ban does occur. So I'm hopeful that the department will look at this. Well, they will look at it and come up with some sort of solution that doesn't really put the burden on the people that actually do move their car. We all end up paying for this, and I just don't think that's right.
Well, as you say, there really is, in this day and age, no excuse to not know about when it's time to move your vehicle. And listen, and also in this day and age of cost saving and penny pinching, $1 million is a lot of money. Is a lot of money.
$1 million is a lot of money. Can go a long distance, right? And I just really think that people, when their vehicle is sitting in a big bank of snow, they must realize that the street is going to get plowed at some point, and that they will look up and see, and then they should move their vehicle. And I know a lot of people use the street as a parking spot, but you know what? It's for emergency vehicles, and we need to make sure they're open. So I'm really hoping to recoup this money and to keep it in the snow budget and have people move their vehicles. So we'll see where it goes.
Well, we will indeed see where it goes. We'll continue to touch base with you in the new year. I appreciate you taking the time, Janice, and I wish you and your family and your sons a very healthy and happy 2022.
Same to you, KK. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You bet. City Councillor Janice Lukes. Hey, listen, $1 million is still a lot of money that we are shelling out for those who just simply forget or just maybe too lazy to get out there and move their vehicle.